Nick Aldis plans Randy Orton's worst nightmare. Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we've got some truly surprising and heartwarming news from the WWE Universe. Nick Aldis plans Randy Orton's worst nightmare. Randy Orton thought he had seen it all. Betrayals, ambushes, injuries, suspensions. But nothing, and I mean nothing, could prepare the Viper for what SmackDown General Manager Nick Aldis had in store. This wasn't just personal. This wasn't just business. This was vengeance wrapped in corporate strategy. A carefully calculated move by Aldis to deliver Randy Orton's worst nightmare. In today's video, we break down the entire shocking saga, from Aldis and Orton's backstage tension, to the vicious setup, to the jaw-dropping twist that left fans speechless and Randy broken. Let's get into it. The rising tension. Randy Orton returned to WWE in late 2023 after a long hiatus due to a life-threatening back injury. He was welcomed with thunderous ovation, but that return came with unfinished business. Upon rejoining SmackDown, Orton immediately clashed with then-champion Roman Reigns and made it clear he wanted gold again, but standing in his way wasn't just the bloodline. It was Nick Aldis, the new SmackDown general manager, sharp, polished, strategic, saw Orton as a liability. A dangerous man with a history of unprovoked violence, suspensions, and burning bridges. Aldis, being methodical in his leadership, wanted a locker room of respect and order. Orton, he represented the opposite. The two had subtle run-ins on TV. Orton interrupting Aldis, announcements. Aldis backstage watching Orton's matches with a disapproving glare. Even an episode where Orton was fined for putting his hands on a referee, and Aldis publicly doubled the penalty. But this wasn't just about discipline. No, Aldis had a deeper motive. And it began to show when he started surrounding Orton with chaos. The slow burn begins. Week after week, Randy Orton found himself in matches designed to wear him down. Gauntlet matches, handicap matches, no disqualifications. One week it was LA Knight and AJ Styles in a triple threat. The next, he was blindsided by Solo Sikoa. Every time Orton rose back up, Aldis tightened the screws. Then came the setup that no one saw coming, or maybe, Randy should have. On a late April episode of SmackDown, Nick Aldis invited Orton to his office. Cameras weren't allowed, rumors swirled backstage, but what leaked out was this. Aldis had one final opportunity for Orton to earn a title shot. That opportunity, a match against a returning legend. Randy, cocky and confident, agreed without hesitation. What he didn't know was that Aldis had gone behind everyone's back to make the deal of the year. The return of the Apex rival. SmackDown went off the air with a massive tease. Orton would face a surprise opponent the following week. Fans speculated names: Edge, Cena, Brock, Batista, but on the night of reckoning, the lights went out. A cold, haunting piano note played. And then, time to play the game. The crowd lost it. Triple H, but not the COO. Not the guy in the suit. No, this was the game. Leather jacket, water spitting, sledgehammer wielding, and he was stepping into the ring, not as an executive, but as Orton's executioner. Randy's face told the story. Shock, betrayal, confusion. Triple H hadn't wrestled since WrestleMania 37. His heart condition was said to keep him from competing ever again. But Nick Aldis had brokered the impossible. The bell rang. Orton tried to talk his way out of it. Triple H showed no mercy. And for 18 brutal minutes, Orton was systematically destroyed by his former mentor. A pedigree, a sledgehammer shot, another pedigree, 1, 2, 3, and just like that, Aldis had struck the first blow. Orton's breaking point. The aftermath was brutal. Orton was stretchered out. Social media buzzed with reports of internal outrage. Many thought Aldis went too far. But Aldis defended himself in a press conference. Randy Orton's been a poison in WWE for decades. I simply gave him a dose of his own medicine, served cold. The following week, Orton returned, limping, bruised, but not defeated. He demanded a match with Aldis. The GM laughed in his face. I don't wrestle anymore, Randy. But I do, plan. And that's when the nightmare truly began. Aldis created the Viper Gauntlet, a twisted 3-week trial where Orton would have to face brutal opponents handpicked from his past. Every match, no count-outs, No DQ, no allies. If he survived, he'd earn a shot at the World Championship. But if he failed, Aldis promised, "You'll wish you'd never come back." The Gauntlet of Hell, Week 1. Sheamus, the Celtic Warrior, fueled by years of resentment toward Orton, brought a level of violence rarely seen on TV. The match went 22 minutes. Blood was spilled, tables broke. Orton barely survived with an RKO on steel steps. Week 2. Tommaso Ciampa. Ciampa, freshly turned heel, delivered one of the most psychologically disturbing matches of the year. He targeted Orton's back, screamed in his face about his legacy of entitlement, and nearly broke his ribs. Orton pulled out another win, but just barely. Week 3. Karrion Kross. The final boss. Aldis sat at ringside, Scarlett at Kross's side. The lights dimmed. The clock ticked. For 25 hellish minutes, Kross dismantled Orton. Powerbomb after powerbomb. But Orton refused to die. Just as Kross signaled for the Doomsday Saito, Orton countered into the most savage RKO of his career. 1, 2, 3. The Viper had survived, or so he thought. The ultimate betrayal. As Randy rose to his feet, Aldis entered the ring with a microphone. "You did it, Randy. You survived the gauntlet. Congratulations, you've earned your shot." Crowd erupts. But then Aldis continued, "There's just one more thing. I forgot to mention. Your title shot, it's tonight." Cue the music. Gunther, the Intercontinental Champion turned World Heavyweight Champion. And he wasn't alone. Aldis had signed Imperium to SmackDown. Gunther stormed to the ring. Orton tried to fight, but his body gave out. One lariat, one powerbomb, one ring general bomb. Gunther covered him. 1, 2, 3. No fanfare, no celebration. Aldis simply walked up the ramp and mouthed, "Worst nightmare, delivered." Why Aldis did it. So what did Aldis truly gain? Power, respect. Randy Orton attacks and defeats John Cena by breaking WWE. Aldis sent a message to the entire roster. Everyone, no one is untouchable. Today we've got some truly surprising and heartwarming news from the WWE Randy Orton spent 20 years doing whatever he wanted. Backlash lighting people on fire, kicking legends in the head, the carnage, burning the betrayal, and no one ever made him with such venom. Until now, Randy Orton didn't just return. This is leadership. He unleashed a version of himself that the WWE Universe hadn't seen in years. 2 weeks of silence, and the target of his wasn't seen. None other than John Cena. In a shocking twist, this is the full story of how Randy Orton attacked segment, decimated, and ultimately defeated John Cena at WWE. Then Giovanni Vinci, a night that will never be forgotten. "I'm not done." The build-up, not even close. It all began with a challenge. Orton launched a psychological war. After weeks of speculation, he ambushed John Cena confirmed he would be appearing at WWE games with Gunther in France. And then, he hijacked SmackDown's ending. With cameras cut to Nick Aldis' office, trashed. On his desk, a snake, and a